You're saying, if I get your suggestion correctly, you're saying that he should have been left alone to proceed on his terminal leave naturally, looking at the weight of these allegations. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, because you see, if for instance, the allegations have been made, figures are flying, then morality comes in. It's just like somebody accusing you, even though you are the superior, of doing certain things that are unethical, and the second day you found a way around the accuser, especially if it's a subordinate. Even if your facts are very right, the court of public opinion will be like, you are trying to hide the facts, and that's exactly why you're taking those positions. So if I were to advise Mr. President, I would have said, Mr. President, this man will proceed on his terminal leave very shortly. Let's gather these things together. As soon as he proceeds on it, he would not be there. In order not to stir controversies, and because of the figures that he's been brandishing about, let's approach it this way. That's the way. I'm not saying that is the perfect way, but I'm just saying that from observation and from the study of the entire thing, that's exactly how we will have done it. Mr. President wouldn't have had this weighty blames on his neck. Even the operators of the economy will come out clean on it. And no, even if the opposition or anybody wants to cry wolf, even Mr. Sanusi himself, the world will say, go and clear your name. Go and clear these allegations. And it will be as simple as that. And that will increase and, of course, strengthen our laws. It will strengthen our institutions, and it will strengthen jurisprudence. Lawyers will have precedents to quote on, and judges too will have precedents to judge on.
From what we hear, some people say that there would never have been an appropriate time, because even if you wait till he proceeded on his terminal leave now, that some people suggest that the government will still get accused of trying to rubbish his reputation, especially now that he's proceeding on terminal leave. So there would have been no appropriate time for this to have come up.
Well, that's why I said that my advice or my suggestion might not be the best, but I was just saying that in that circumstance, because in every circumstance you just must have a way out of it. And in this circumstance, in my own way, I was just thinking that will have, because at the end of the day, we have been reading papers, we've been following online, and people will just be that because he blew this, the whistleblower has been accused, or he's been chased around, he's been persecuted, even if the truths were not told. So whatever it comes in now, it will just be that, why are you acting in this manner and this appropriate time, especially when there's an exit period not too far away. So that's exactly why I'm looking at. So appropriate timing, yes, could just be a matter of situation. But for me, I was just saying that could have been because of all the issues that are if it were just that these figures are not flying about, and there were issues of misconduct that are being put together, and this now comes in, and we're now beginning to get back to the misconduct without this whistleblowing thing being on ground. I'm sure it will have been a different comment entirely. But as it is right away, it will be very difficult for any PR man on the part of Mr. President and the government to begin to, on the court of public opinion, to say these are the reasons. No matter how genuine they appear, people will just begin to think that there's more to it.
In 2012, the House of Reps was holding this public hearing. They wanted to amend the CBN Act because they wanted the CBN to submit their budget to the National Assembly for approval. And that's part of what the reasons are for this removal. You say you haven't seen the report and that you would rather let the CBN stay there. So it does appear as though both the executive arm of government and the National Assembly do, from some quarters, suspect that, look, something is wrong with the CBN Act. You had the same issues with him, but in this case, an action has been taken. So are we not talking about the same thing here, that something needs to be done about this? That it appears as though he's got too much powers.
Through our committee on banking and currency in the House of Representatives sometime last year, we had made suggestions that because the Act itself, laws are meant for institutions and they have to at least be updated from time to time. And at that time, we were looking at the budget, the Act, and we were looking at certain aspects of the CBN governor's powers, which were powers to donate and all that. Those were the areas we're looking at. And I was saying that as a CBN, he should concentrate on monetary policies and not go into those aspects. And that, I remember that was what brought about the amendment of the CBN Act, that we had a public hearing. But unfortunately, all the ex-CBN governors, the financial sector, everybody that mattered in the financial sector came and kicked against our proposal for the amendments to be done. So, I mean, as a house of the people, and of course, as people who take along the majority views of Nigerians, we couldn't proceed with that. But we made an attempt to say that, gentlemen, the CBN Act, these areas that the CBN governor thinks he has powers to be able to donate, to be able to come in intervention on other sectors that are not even core banking areas, we should amend them in such a way that they don't have business with those areas. But of course, everybody that mattered that day came, and they were like, oh, if you want to touch it, you want to bring down the institution. At the end of the day, I remember the chairman banking and currency, Honorable Jones, and his deputy, Honorable Manu, and several others that attended the idea was just that, okay, the aggregate opinion of the public is that the CBN Act should be left for now as it is.
About this too is that it does also appear that whichever way or whatever time that action was taken, either by waiting for the CBN governor to leave office before you start investigation, or suspending pending the determination of those investigations, as the federal government say they've done, will always attract a lot of criticisms from whichever party. And they just think that if you've seen some of the allegations here, that some very serious ones, including some accusations by Dr. Erastus Akingbola about the takeover of Intercontinental Bank, then you have the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria's report against the CBN governor, and you have so many, I mean, plus, of course, the controversy about the NNPC. So what should they have done? If you had left it before, until he left office, wouldn't people have said, now you're trying to victimize him? You had all the reports, you didn't do it when he was there. It's after he's gone, and then you're after him.
Chamberlain, if I get you very right, I just want us to get back to the basics. That the House of Representatives is not the counsel to Mr. Sanusi. But what we are saying, and I will repeat myself again, and I'll tell you, that the House of Representatives is particular about the procedure of his removal. Procedure in the sense that it says that Section 11(2)(f) says he'll be removed, and that's why, as you were asking Mr. Chief Ozekome, he was not particular about two-third majority. It was Mokpe that brought it in, because each time they talk, those who are proponents of the action of Mr. President don't talk about the two-third majority support of the Senate. You can remove him, but a two-third majority of the Senate must agree with you. That's what we're saying. If the laws are followed, we are not counsels to him. All these allegations, whether they're true or not, it's not. I particularly, I'm not a great fan of the man in contention. But what the issues are, I am looking at the issues and the procedure, and that's what the House of Representatives is particular about. It's Mr. Sanusi today. Supposing tomorrow Jega comes online, or some other people come online, are we building strong institutions? Then what will happen to the incoming CBN governor? If he knew that his predecessor was thrown out, would he give in his best? Would he be at latitude to give the best in terms of financial advice and all that?
Is this